our last dinner with Nadia and Victor. Leaving Angers on a series of bike paths through the woods, heading back to the Loire. Angers is situated a few kilometers north of the river, but very much a worthwhile stop. Had a great Airbnb right outside of the centre-ville. Got a load of laundry in. We got a hot day coming up. High of 94, I think, so should be interesting.
Very thankful for the shade.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Let's hope it's shady for the rest of the way.
That would be a dream.
Had a nice crepe, good coffee for breakfast, and it's going to be a good day. This is just so nice.
Another cool bridge coming up here.
Come here between this, there is no more shade there.
We headed south out of the city toward the Loire, and after going around in circles for a bit, we finally managed to make our way to the main trail and continued on our eastward route.
Kamut has been routing us on some little used paths, but with great views of the Loire right next to us. It's a little rough on the tires, but I think it's smoothing out a little bit. As subtle as it's been, you can feel the elevation drop. The river's getting flatter and more green, more lush, maybe a little more swampy. And boy, is it hot. Straight.
You're a beast!
Look, a little planetarium. Someone's got a little telescope out here. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it looks like a vulture. Nice way to keep the crows away. Make them think they're dinner. Nadia! Left? Yeah. Didn't think you did.
I was running.
So this is your Velo 6, huh? Says, yeah. Boy, I hope the level of this river picks up. If this continues, it's going to be a disaster. All the grapes are irrigated by it, and so many depend on it. The cities were built along it. You're such a beast. Look at you guys. God damn.
Today turned out to be probably the hottest day of our ride, uncharacteristically so for the region thanks to a record-breaking dry and scorching summer. Here, temperatures are rarely that high, and it was humid. As the day wore on, we could feel the accumulation of heat, humidity, and sweat bearing down upon us.
Well, it's hot,
Wow, is it ever?
but it sure doesn't feel Missouri hot, does it?
Oh no. Huh.
Not anywhere close.
Uh-uh.
Okay, I think this is our left right here. Sorry, right here. Gotta wonder what that grove is all about.
Another crossing of the Loire, and we found ourselves riding past an unidentifiable cluster of buildings, which turned out to be the Mine de Charbon de l'Étranger, or the trench mine, which has been in operation since the 1500s. Even the old mines here earn a monumental status.
What a great structure. This thing is so old.
Eventually we found a park where we could enjoy a picnic of, surprise, cheese and bread and charcuterie. We checked out a statue of Julianna's spirit animal, and we were on our way.
Crossing over the Loire. There's almost no water left. It's very sad. Very sad.
Another one of the mini bridges crossing the Loire. You can see how dry it is here. Not a lot of water here. Very dry. Don't know what this is like typically, but today it is almost all sand. Look at that. It's been a rough year for Europe. A lot of drought, wildfires, global warming. It's rough. There's a modern steeple for a change of pace.
It seemed to me that we could feel our pace quicken as we got closer to the sea. Perhaps we were driven by our first goal, the end of the Loire, so close in our sights. At any rate, when we arrived at the hotel we'd booked, hot, sweaty, and exhausted, we were greeted with a dose of bad news. They'd made a mistake. Our 2 rooms were one. We had to share a room with no air conditioning, no fan, and a shower too small to turn around in. At least the dinner was good.
Had a nice meal here last night overlooking the Loire River, and had a room, probably that room right there. But yesterday afternoon, there weren't very many rooms at all available. They got us this room here at a seafood restaurant. So they called us back and said, no, actually it's not 2 rooms, it's 1 room. And so by the time we got there, we were all 4 of us going to end up in 1 room, which I think nobody was particularly happy with. The shower was tiny, filthy, drain didn't work, full of mosquitoes and full of bugs. Hope I didn't get any bed bugs. Very itchy last night. No fan, no air conditioning. Just probably the worst hotel experience. It would have been a lot more comfortable sleeping on some picnic table somewhere. Had a great view. Had a view of this bridge and castle, but that bridge had traffic going on all hours of the night. And there were drunken arguments outside of our window. So nobody got any sleep at all. Rough night and everybody's a little grumpy. We're heading into Nantes today, as soon as Nadia's done with her call. Still trying to line up interviews to get a job. Well, Victor and Nadia need to go into Nantes and figure out what they need to do to get a train back to Zurich. It's kind of a gray, sweltery, humid, pretty hot day. We look to be close to 90 today, but a lot of potential for thunderstorms and that kind of thing. Hopefully we can get into Nantes before we get too wet and try to find a room. So let's go.
Sorry to say, the rough night left us all feeling quiet, introspective, and a bit grumpy, because soon Victor and Nadia would conclude their part of our adventure, heading home to jobs and responsibilities in the day-to-day. It was a short ride to Nantes, however, and the ride through the countryside lifted our spirits.
Where these little stony ramps and little sections made with these old stones just jar everything loose. Cool old castle tower up there, past the railroad tracks. One bouncy bridge. Oh, crap.
On our way to Nantes, really a hot, muggy day today. We all got a horrible night's sleep. It was hot in the room, it was filled with bugs, a crappy room. We're all just kind of over the day.
A little hillier through this part. Dusty little trail. Tough energy this morning. Nobody seems happy at all. Victor and Nadia's ride is about over. And I know nobody got any sleep last night, so.
Complain, complain, complain. I mean, look at this riding. How can anyone be unhappy here? The trail was gorgeous through this stretch, back and forth between a paved, dedicated path and a gentle gravel path, winding and woodsy. But no matter how hard we tried, getting a room in Nantes proved to be difficult.
So it's been really hard trying to find a room in Nantes. Everything is super expensive. We've tried 2 different rooms on Airbnb and been turned down both times. First time they said there was some calendar glitch. Second time they said we need 3 days in advance and we don't take bikes anyway, so good luck. There's just not a lot left. It's confusing and kind of frustrating because, you know, we've never really had that problem of finding rooms. So gonna have to keep trying. Coming into Nantes. Finally found a room, I think. Although it's been bizarre how many times we've booked rooms and had them canceled on us. Both us and Nadia and Victor, we've separated so that we can both get rooms. Super expensive and very hard to find. Nice bridge here. Nantes is a pretty big city. I think it's the biggest city of our trip so far. A little chaotic coming into the city, huh, babe?
Oh yeah, it is. So I'm glad there's a bike lane.
Yeah. As long as you really focus and you follow Komoot, you can get there no problem, but it does take a lot of focus.
Eventually we found rooms separately since nobody had 2 rooms available, and we made our way through the chaos of the city to our hotel, cleaned up, got a meal, and slept hard. Tomorrow would be a rest day in Nantes. Good night.
Good morning from, well, is it good afternoon? Nobody knows what time it is anymore. You know what's great about France?
What?
Let's see if I can get a slightly different background on this. This would be something more like this. Let's try this. So one of the cool things I think about France, in addition to castles everywhere and moats, I mean, the castles are just, I mean, literally they're everywhere. But some of the things I really love about France, one of the things is bonjour. Like everywhere you go, you say bonjour, and they say bonjour, and it's a sing-song kind of like really a sweet way to greet somebody. And it's not like saying hello or hey, how you doing or something that you would say in the States. Here it's just this sweet little greeting that you get all the time. Bonjour, you know. Also, whenever you're taking off, like people literally say bon voyage. You know, it's not even ironic or like being a joke or anything. It's like bon voyage, like have a great trip, you know, which is nice because we're always on a
People have been very nice
trip.
here.
It is a friendly place for sure. But I gotta say,
the bathrooms are invariably as tiny as they can possibly make them. No bathroom I've been in yet would have passed OSHA rules in the United States.
Wheelchair friendly? No.
Not a chance. Over and out. We're gonna go do our rest day. Peace, y'all. Vive la France. At one time, this would have been the moat. This fabulous castle. It says the castle of the Dukes of Brittany, begun by Francis II in 1466, constructed in order to defend the southern part of the Duchy of Brittany against potential royal attacks. It's really one of the more impressive castles we've seen, wouldn't you say? Really excellent architecture, great lines. Real castles, real moats. Wow.
We enjoyed our day in Nantes with a leisurely stroll through this vibrant city, but it was tinged with sadness. Tonight we would bid au revoir to Victor and Nadia, at least until our trip was over and we returned to Zurich for our flight home.
Our last dinner with Nadia and Victor here at an outdoor cafe in Nantes. Gorgeous place, beautiful dinner, wonderful.
Getting ready for the light show.
Nadia, always the resourceful one, found a great venue for us to share before we said our goodbyes.
Bonjour.